That's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A carry here for Trevion Henderson. And he's going to have the Patriots first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
They'll go again with Henderson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Patriots get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. They're on 33-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Looking to throw, Dart. Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Throwing his dart. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Theo Johnson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Giants are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They'll throw with May. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
May going to give it to Henderson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves it with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. We talk about this Giant defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Hey, what's that? Crazy, crazy, crazy.
To throw, it's May. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big man rumble. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
Henderson going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. Here! I hear you, sir. Hey, what's that?
Henderson will take this one in. Touchdown, Patriots. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The 1st down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Yeah, really with you. I should probably start a head, boy, because I got all the heads, boy.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Dart. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards and a Giant 1st down.
Let's go now. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Up the middle they go. Colbert, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 2nd down and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Working out of the gun is Dart. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Throwing, Dart. Under pressure, they got him again. Harold Landry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. This is taken around the 12. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. On the draw is Stevenson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
What's that? Crazy. Hey, what's that?
From the gun, it's May. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
From the shotgun, it's May. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Here's Dart. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. They'll try to run this one in. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, anytime down here in the red zone that you can get a running back going lateral to the line of scrimmage, that's a plus for the defense. We all hear about the offensive guys saying, get north and south, get upfield. They didn't allow it at all on that play.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room. Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field and what was a fairly innocuous play call.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Hey, no, here. Hey, what's that?
They'll run here with Henderson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Moves to 2nd and goal at the Giants' 7-yard line.
Throwing here is May. That's complete. Trevion Henderson. Touchdown, Patriots. Trevion Henderson as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensive. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Project S and this ain't what you want.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people would think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll run on first down. Colbert. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop it for no gain.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Dart going to look to throw here.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
18 Cardinal, 18 Pioneer.
To throw is Dart. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's Dart. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
A good position to be in here, second and inches.
It's second and inches. At the Patriots' 37-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Colbert. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Play action now. Dart.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Now 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, it's Irving.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a third down and 2.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And he is caught. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton from 21 yards away. And the Giants are back within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. Again, it's Henderson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Here's May. Getting the football to Davis on an out route. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Xavier Worthy, 44 yards. And the Patriots go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14.
31. Giants 17.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Giants 17.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A play fake, and now it's Dart. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And they've got it well across across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
First and 10.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
Now a 2nd and 2.
At the 31-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Colbert. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Dart. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And the Patriots force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
At their own 10-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And they go play action with May. He'll dump this down to Stevenson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On first down, it's Henderson. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. On play action, May. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Across midfield. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Dart. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up in.
And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Hey, here goes up. Hey, what's up?
They'll try and run for the 1st with Stevenson. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
19 Tiger, go!
Out of the gun, here's Dart. He's got Johnson. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
To throw now, Dart. That's caught by Johnson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
15-yard line.
Throwing his Dart. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Pats are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal. And the Pigs get at the 7-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal.
Cougar 19.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton from 6 yards away. And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point attempt here still to come.
For the extra point.
And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this is secured by the Patriots. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the 4th quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for the Patriots, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.